Hello everyone, and welcome to our course on how to create a compound interest calculator using Xamarin Studio. For those of you who are unsure of what a compound interest calculator is or what it does, have this web page pulled up. I just did a quick Google search on what a compound interest calculator is, and basically it's a calculator that will calculate how much interest you'll earn on an investment. So this is a formula we'll be using here. We have our final investment value will be our principal investment value. So this is how much money we invest. And then we're going to do 1 plus, and then R is the annual interest rate. So this is perhaps 5%, 10%, 3%, however much the interest rate is. This is the number, N is the number of times it's compounded per year, and T is the number of years the interest is actually being, or the money is being invested. So again, initial interest, R is the interest rate, N is the number of times compounded, and T is the total number of time that the money is going to be invested. And we're just basically trying to find out how much money will be in our account at the end of the investment period. So again, principal investment, let's say we invest $1,000 and it's compounded perhaps at 5% and one time a year, and for 20 years, then we'd find out how much money we'd have at the end of that 20-year period. So it's a compound interest calculator, and that's the formula we'll be using. I'm just going to go ahead and minimize this, and here I've just opened Xamarin Studio. What we're going to do is we're going to look in the top left, and we're going to click New Solution, because projects in Xamarin Studio are called solutions. And we're going to select Single App View, and this is going to be in C#. This is the language we'll be using to code this app. We'll click Next, and let's give our app a name. Let's call this Compound Interest Calculator. And we'll call this Tutorial. Okay, so this is going to be the name of our app. It's going to be the compound interest calculator, and because I'm doing the tutorial for you guys, I'm just going to call it Tutorial. We're going to select both Android and iOS because we'll be developing in both. I'll first show you the app in iOS, and then I'll move on to Android for the later half. And for the shared code, we'll select the Use Shared library, not the Portable class library. And we'll just click Next at the bottom right. And we'll click Create once we've selected these, so we've got our folder and everything. And here we go, it's created our project. So if we go ahead and just expand this a little bit, we have the place to put our Android code and the place to put our iOS code. So I'm just expanding these, and these are under Solutions. So these are the files that are in our solution. So I'll just close the Android one up and open the iOS one. So viewcontroller.cs, this is going to be where we're actually writing our main code. So I just opened it by double clicking. You can right click and say open with source code editor if you want, but it does the same thing. So again, just double clicking on viewcontroller.cs. So this is where the bulk of our code is going to go in this file. If we open up main.storyboard, this is where we are going to design the layout of our app. So this is where we'll add the hard coding, and main.storyboard is where we're going to design the layouts. This will be adding in text fields, adding in buttons, basically just designing what the app is going to look like. So it takes a little while to load. So when we start a project, Xamarin Studio initializes the project to be blank but has a button, which is why we have these button handlers. There's the button handler methods and basically what will happen once a button is clicked. So that's just a default. That comes with the project, and that's pretty much with every new project. It automatically defaults a button. So if you're a little confused as to why that's there, that is why it's there. Okay, so now that main.storyboard is finished loading, we're going to the first thing. We'll look up here under View As, and we're going to say iPhone 5S. Just because I'm personally more comfortable working with that. You can choose whatever you want though. You can have 4S, you can have the 6, iPad, generic, whichever you prefer. In the top right, I'm just going to hit this zoom button, zoom to fit, and it will just make sure that the phone screen, the emulator here, will fit in the screen nicely. So this is our button here. This is the default button that initializes, so when it's clicked, I believe the code just increases the count by 1. So we're not interested in having this button here, so I'm just going to select it by just clicking on the button, and I'm going to hit delete, because I no longer want that there. Okay, and that just gets rid of the button. And as for in here, I'm going to leave this code for now. We'll get rid of it and change the button to do something else, but again for now I'll just leave it. Okay, so that's our main storyboard setup and our main setup. I'm going to go into the storyboard and save it by just hitting Command S, or you can go File and Save. And same with viewcontroller.cs, I'm just going to save that also. And I'll close these for now, just clicking this little X at the top here. And now I'm going to close up the iOS folder. Now I'm going to open the Droid folder and set that up. So again, just clicked on the little arrow to expand it. Mainactivity.cs is where we're going to be putting our main code. So I'm just going to open that again by double clicking on it. And similar to in iOS, we've got the button handler already set up. And that's again just a default thing that Xamarin Studio includes when you create a new project. So we'll be getting rid of some of this code and modifying the rest, but again we're just going to leave it for now. Now to pull up the place where we design what the app looks like, we're going to go to, this is again under Droid, we're going to go Resources, expand that folder, we're going to expand Layout, and we're going to open main.axml. And this is going to be very much like the storyboard with iOS, where it's just going to have a little phone emulator, and this is where we design the layout. So again, putting in stuff like boxes, buttons, text boxes, etc. So again, there's this Hello World button, initialized. I'm just going to select it because we don't want it, and I'm going to hit delete to get rid of it. So now we've set up our layout files. Again, I'm just going to hit save. So Command S, and I'm going to save this again. And now I'm going to close the Droid folder because again we're going to be developing in iOS first. I'm going to open viewcontroller.cs and the main.storyboard. So now we've set up our Xamarin Studio, we've set up our project. So we have both iOS and Android development set up. We have a blank phone screen, again zoom to fit, blank phone screen on each, and pretty much blank source code. There's a few things which again we'll delete later and modify. So this is the basic setup, and we will jump right into the layout first thing.